Hey guys, so we're going to show you how to make your own aquifer. I have two assistants here, Ollie and my son Harrison, and we're going to show you how to make an aquifer in a cup to show where we get our drinking water from and how the things that we do in a watershed actually impact our drinking water quality. So, we're going to start with a cup. Make sure you guys can see everything, okay? Ollie's going to model it for you while I read the directions. And make sure you can see everybody.
Hey there.
All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some Play-Doh at the bottom of the cup.
I want to get some, Play-Doh.
So the reason that we do this, while Ollie's doing this, don't have to flatten it out any more than that. The reason that what this represents, this Play-Doh at the bottom of the cup, represents the bedrock, the impermeable layer that groundwater stops at. So impermeable, remember, means it can't go through. So water can't go through this layer. It's just a type of rock that is not very porous at all. So our next step is to build our well. And we're going to use a straw for a well that we've cut in half. It's like a smoothie straw, like, you'd find like with boba tea or something. We're going to tape our well to the inside of the cup.
Just in case I get some tape.
I'll get you tape. And the reason we're doing this is to show this is how we get our drinking water. Wells are drilled into rock, into an aquifer. And that's what we're building. We're building an aquifer to show how we get our drinking water. All right, so as you can see here, we have our well built, and notice that it's not touching the impermeable layer. If it did, we wouldn't be able to get our water.
Yeah.
So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to pour some gravel on top of our impermeable layer.
Has my cup, please.
Thank you. Just pour it in.
Yeah, I'm just pouring it in there.
So we're going to fill it up about halfway.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's good. Oh, look. There might be some fossils in here, actually. So what this represents is more permeable rock. The spaces between the rock are pores, just like the pores on your skin. And these pores, the bigger the rock, the bigger the spaces between the rock, which means its porosity is greater. It's more permeable. Its permeability increases, which means that water can flow through it faster and easier. This is going to be our aquifer. This is where groundwater is stored. So our next step is to create another impermeable layer, because in reality, rock beneath the Earth's surface is multiple different layers. It's not all even. So Ollie's going to put an impermeable layer only on about half of the gravel.
Yeah. Wait, like that?
Yeah, just halfway around the gravel, just like that. So you see it right there. It fell.
You have to tuck it in.
So see it right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put on a little less porous sand. Sand is going to represent just a different type of rock, which you would find under the Earth's crust, under the Earth's surface. It's going to be kind of like soil. Soil is a little more compacted. The grains are much smaller, and so there's less space between, which means its porosity is smaller. It's not as permeable, which is going to come into play whenever we watch the water actually filter through.
So how many cups do I get?
Fill it up about an inch.
You know what? That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Oops.
A little bit more. Keep going.
Enough?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more?
Yeah, a little bit more. Actually, a lot more. Keep going, keep going. Yep. Good more.
Oh, goodness, Mommy.
Okay, so here we have our aquifer. You see the impermeable layer sticking through. And we turn around so you see our well. Can't really see our well sticking through. But here's what we're going to do next. So this is our watershed. It's like a mini watershed. Remember, a watershed is an area of land where everything that falls on the land, it drains into surface water. We don't have any surface water here yet, but what we're going to do is it's going to rain in our watershed. So here we have some water. And Ollie's going to, that's already red. Ollie's going to make it rain.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just said that.
Okay.
And I will, hold on. Watch out, Siggy. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. I want you guys to pay attention to how the sand is actually being saturated, and how the speed of the sand being saturated is different than what the gravel is going to look like. Hopefully you guys can see that. So if you notice, especially if you can't see, the water travels through the sand a lot slower than it travels through the rock because of porosity. The spaces between the grains of sand are smaller, so it's less porous than the space between the gravel. So our gravel, the space between here, this is now our aquifer. This is where groundwater is stored. Yeah. So here we go. So it's rained in our watershed. We are going to try to get some drinking water.
Yay!
Hello. Stop it. Get out of there. All right. So
what we do is...
What about me? You can be in there. Hold on.
Can I say this part?
No. Okay. Well, yes, you can do. So what are we going to do, Ollie?
So now we're going to have to take this, get in there, push it in. It's not working.
So
there.
What this is representing, go ahead, Ollie, is we are getting groundwater out. This is our pump for our well to extract drinking water.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So if you notice, it doesn't look great, right? You probably are thinking, I'm never drinking water again. But don't do that, because all water before it gets to your tap goes through a water treatment plant. So really this groundwater, and it's just tinted with sand because of our experiment. It doesn't really look like this. It's clear. But it will go through a water treatment plant and will be filtered out of any impurities. I'm about to drop this on my laptop. So here's our regular drinking water. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to see what kind of impacts humans have. You can't sit in my lap right now. Okay. We're going to see what kind of impacts humans have on our water quality with our activities. So my son Harrison, he's going to fertilize our grass here in our watershed. Okay, just sprinkle the Kool-Aid. No. Nope, in here. Here. Sprinkle it. So we're sprinkling. There you go. Okay, so that's enough. So what you see here, this Kool-Aid represents the fertilizer on my lawn, right? And fertilizers are chemicals. Sometimes they can be pretty harsh chemicals that they help the grass grow and make it look pretty, but let's see what happens and how it affects our water quality. So what Ollie's going to do is we fertilized. After you fertilize it, you got to water it in to make sure it gets into the grass, into the roots. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to water the lawn again. It's going to rain again.
I'm going to make it rain.
Oh, Lord. Okay, here we go. So again, watch what happens. And this one, watch specifically how you see the red move down. So eventually you're going to start seeing, it's going to happen really slowly. Remember, because I said the porosity of the sand is lower than the gravel. So it's just filtering through ever so slowly. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to get some drinking water again. No, we're not pouring anything else. Okay? So, I'm going to try to get some drinking water again. Here's some stuff. Okay? Move the computer back that way. All right, so from our well again, we're starting to see colored water now. And what that represents is that the water has become polluted because of our activities in our watershed. If we kept pumping, it would get even darker.